everyone, I'm the Hero Guy coming at you with a little discussion video. First of all, before I start, I would like to formally apologize to all you viewers out there and you subscribers that I haven't been uploading content like I should have been. And I would like to apologize to the owner of the channel, Luke. So, I'm sorry. I'll try to upload more content for you guys so you can see my view on things and see what I have planned. But anyway, I would like to discuss the fact of Yu-Gi-Oh! Having a meta or not. In my opinion, there really is no meta because the game is relatively balanced now that almost any deck could do decent. The only two decks that I would consider meta are Cosmo and Draco Pals, because those are the top two decks that those are the two decks that top almost every tournament. But anyway, so the two meta decks, two decks that I call meta, Cosmo, they have a ton of support. They're probably gonna get even more support. You know, I'm trying to keep up with that. But yeah, they're just stupid with all of the things that you can do. You can just special summon for days, pop your own cards to special summon more, and it gets even stupider when you add the Fire King engine. So there's just so much you can do with that. And then Draco Pals. You're just spamming rank force for days. You can get your Ignis or Easy. You get whatever you want basically on your first turn with both of these decks. So, those are the only decks that I would consider meta. They are probably one of the most consistent decks in the format, but as per usual, you never know what will happen in a game. So there's always outs to things. And the next thing I have to say is why I think there is really no meta other than those two decks. The game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is now so balanced as to where a deck that used to be super expensive, that was meta before, is now very cheap with all the reprints from the gold set and the prints that are coming now, especially with so many good archetypes being even common, other than Blue Eyes, which is a pain because I wanted to build Blue Eyes. But yeah, the game is so balanced now, you can play almost anything and compete. Well, I have this list right here, and this is some of the decks that are meta, such as Performapal variants, which I have just said, and Cosmo, which I have also just said, and Monarchs, which got all this support. It's extremely good, topped a lot of events. I would consider it meta, but it's slowly starting to die down. It's still good, but it's just not used as much. Because there still is some consistency problems and stuff, not gonna lie. If you want to buy a brick and try to top with it, then that's fine. Just kidding. It's not a brick in my opinion, but you know, some people call it a brick. But yeah, Monarchs are good. They can lock down extra deck, but as per usual, there's ways to lock it down. I.e. Mask of Restrict and Fog King. And what nobody really realizes, there's also Zombie World, which stops tributing except for zombie monsters, so they still get their Erebus, sadly. And then there is also Burning Abyss. The main variants you usually see are the PK Fire variants, but I like the pure build. That's my preference. I just like it better for some reason. And with Beatrice, there's even more control with that deck. It's just really good. And then there's Mermails. For a while, that got really good with the release of the Atlantean Prince, Neptibus, but even then, that died down some. There's Phantom Knight variants, Magispectors, which are still really good in my opinion if you have maybe a Draco engine in there and play the Guiding Ariadnes, ton of counter traps. It's really good. And then those types of decks, those are the meta. But the game is so balanced that you can play almost anything and call it meta. But what there isn't a lack in is anti-meta. Like, anything that plays Cards of Demise these days is practically meta. We have Cleafort Demise, we have Teller Demise, which is a surprise, Gravekeeper Demise, there's just so many decks focused on using the card's demise engine and setting your floodgates and just going off on your opponent's turn and just negating everything. You set up your plays perfectly. So there is no lack in the anti-meta game, and the anti-meta game is way more expensive than the actual meta game if you actually look at the facts. Because Cards of Demise is about a $30 card, and then you have to buy all the floodgates like Chaos Trap Hole, Solemn Strikes, all that good stuff, and it's just money. So my other question would have to be, is anti-meta meta? And is there really a meta? Is the meta even meta? Try to think about that if you're not too confused about the words that I have just said. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and shoot us ideas every once in a while. Tell us what you'd like to see. Other than that, Hero Guy signing out.